Madhu River is one of the major tourist attractions in Sri Lanka by virtue of its picturesque bearings and enchanting environment, which has been spread around 5,000 square feet land area of Balapitiya, southern Sri Lanka, accompanied by 64 islands. During year 2006, the Department of Wildlife Conservation declared 2,600 hectares of this captivating estuary a wildlife sanctuary. In 2003, 915 hectares of the Madhuganga estuary was declared wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. Kothduwa Island is the most highlighted among all those 64 islands owing to significant Kothduwa temple, also known as Kothduwa Rajamaha Viharaya. A Buddhist temple boasts its illustrious legacy and the heritage which run back to ancient dynasty of Sri Lanka. The temple is believed to have sheltered and safe kept twice the sacred relic of the tooth of the Lord Buddha, which is the prime and utmost sacred entity of the Buddhist. The value of the island has been further magnified with the sacred bo tree planted by King Devanampiyathissa, since this tree is one of the 32 sacred buds of Jayasri Mahabodhi. The sacred tooth relic of Lord Buddha was brought to Sri Lanka by Princess Hemamala and Prince Danta from Kalinga in India, in the region of King Sri Meghavanna circa 340 AD. The story goes that when political upheaval plunged India into constant wars, the king of Kalinga handed the sacred tooth relic to his nephew Danta and niece Hemamala. He asked them to take it to Sri Lanka as a hallowed gift for King Kitsiri Mevan. Subsequently, when the ship set sail, Prince Danta and Princess Hemamala, receiving news that there was some strife in Sri Lanka resulting the death of King Sri Lanka, decided to change the course of their voyage and head for the south coast of the island. They are said to have landed at Valithota, the present estuary of Madhuganga. From there, they came by boat to Madhuganga and kept the hallowed tooth relic for a short time in the islet now called Kothduwa. There, they built a saya of sand to shelter the sacred tooth relic, and this was aptly named Valley Saya, or the Vihara of Sand. The sacred tooth relic being kept at Kothduwa is mentioned in Pali Dalada Vanshaya, a chronicle of the tooth relic. During 1884, reputed public servant and well-known philanthropist of this area, Mudliya Kaluhat Samsandi Abrev Rajapaksha, had been travelling in a canoe on an evening and has witnessed the bo tree. Then he had come ashore to make his offerings, chant the gathas and light a lamp. When he boarded his canoe to continue his journey, to his astonishment, he had seen myriads of lights miraculously illuminating the whole area. Subsequently, Mudliya has built this temple and other buildings there from his own expenses to commemorate these wondrous spectacles of lights. He has incurred 10,000 rupees to accomplish this construction during year 1884 with elegant architectural designs and sturdy techniques which are lifting the structures even after 140 years. The Dharmashala is consisting with 3 main entrances and 3 main exits, and the floor has completed with premier clay tiles, keeping the imperial texture to the building. Even the rustic wooden beams of the roof are unique, since same have been furnished from unjointed precious woods. The courtyard amidst the building proudly witnessing the grand ancient architectural mastery of Sri Lanka. The Sanghavasa, where the accommodation is harmoniously sculptured with the panoramic river view. The roof again touched the elegance of reappears imprinted and padded to the valance boards with the visionary perspective of strength against heavy winds. Entire construction of the temple was completed in 1884 and was dedicated to the chief incumbent of His Holiness Omante Abetissa Thero, who was living at that time in the temple. Later, Kosgoda Dhammatissa Thero, Opanayaka Dhammasiri Thero and Omante Punyasara Thero holded the holy chief incumbent position of Kothduwa Rajamaha Vihāraya. Presently, Kudagala Aberathana Thero is rendering a great service to this monastery, being the chief incumbent. The significant fact about Kothduwa is it doesn't have a set of demarcated group of contributors as other temples in Sri Lanka. Hence, the two main meals are prepared and the dry rations are stored in the temple premise and following the common custom of offering home-cooked meals by the villagers to the residing monks. The Dagaba or the pagoda in Kothduwa was designed by the Mudliya Samson Rajapaksha, and it symbolizes the presence of holy tooth relic of Lord Buddha in this island. Moreover, Kothduwa becomes the only monastery in the world that has only one temple in an island. Two Buddha statues built on the island further significant as it is the longest reclining statue and the largest Samadhi pose Buddha statue which were built on an island. The constructions and renovations undergone at Kothduwa temple was a challenging and difficult action. The constructions and renovations undergone at Kothduwa temple was a challenging and difficult action to perform always as a being an island. Further explaining, if the market value of a cube of a sand is 20,000 rupees, and it will be doubled when the transportation and other costs are added. A big sum of money has to be incurred on ferries to transport and for the loading and unloadings. Though high level of cost and labor had to spend, the Mudliya always implies his great sincerity above all of them. All the investment for this temple building was his personal wealth, and he did not add up any other contributions of outside people. And impressively, he was unique too, not to mention his contribution in written elsewhere in the temple or any other source. Though high level of cost and labor had to spend, the Mudliya always implies his great sincerity above all of them. All the investments for this temple building was his personal wealth, and he was impressively unique too, not to mention his contribution for this in written elsewhere in the temple or any other source. However, the Mudliya Samson Rajapaksha engraved the word Ping in Sinhala, which means the merit, the quality of being particularly worthy due to the excellence of deed performed. Presently, the maintenance of Kothduwa Rajamaha Vihāraya are being funded by both local and foreign visitors. Ultimately, we are pleased to obtain your generous contribution to preserve this valuable monastery in Sri Lanka.